Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where I've got a lot to tell you about today. But let's start with the important thing, which is I'm going to be trying a puzzle called Zip Zag by Sujoyku and Egubachu, maybe. I mean, the second name there is a new name, I think. Egubachu. I'm going to go with that, which has been recommended to us including by GDC, who is sort of the absolute master of zipper lines, of which we have several in this grid, 6 in fact, and this is meant to be a lovely puzzle. So I'm looking forward to trying it. Very straightforward rules. If you're familiar with zipper lines, there's no rinky dinks here. It's just Sudoku plus zippers, and I will explain everything in a moment or two's time. But let me just update you on a couple of matters. Some of you have known that I've been in Philadelphia for the last week, which is, well, I was due to fly back on Saturday with American Airlines. Let's just say that it has been a fraught process getting back. I thought I might just run you through. So I was meant to get back on Saturday, well in time to do Saturday's video. I have a very, very small stock of videos that are sort of pre-recorded and ready to go if I have an emergency at home. Anyway, let's talk about what happened. So actually, when I say I was due to fly home on Saturday, I was due to fly home late Friday night on the red eye. So I get to the airport, I'm waiting for the plane, and then the plane starts being delayed, and sure enough, at about midnight, it gets cancelled. Very annoying. There's no explanation as to what you do in that situation. They don't try and say, well, we've booked you into a hotel. It's just sort of every man for himself. And off I went to try and find a hotel, which I managed to find and get some sleep. And then I found I'd been rebooked on a flight at 11 a.m. the following day. So far, not too bad, just annoying, not too bad. Anyway, at 11 a.m. the following day, I get all the way through the process at the airport, get to the doors of the aeroplane, and then the captain feels tired. He's got fatigue. So that flight's cancelled as well. So now it's getting a little bit more annoying. Then they suggest that the best course of action would be for me to fly to Pittsburgh and connect with a British Airways connecting flight from there. So you've guessed it, I'm just about to board the flight to Pittsburgh, and it starts to be delayed, and it starts to be delayed in such a way that it's not clear whether I'm going to make that connecting flight. So they then decide, oh, what we'll do is we'll book Simon on another of these red-eye flights, sort of about 11 o'clock that evening. So this time I actually get to board the plane. I'm boarded on the plane. It's about to go, and then a computer told the co-pilot that he had to go on a different plane, a smaller flight. So everybody who's on that flight then has to get off, because that flight is then cancelled because there aren't enough staff. And again, not clear what's going on. The whole terminal is filled with these, well, I mean, it was bad enough for me, but poor families with loads and loads of children just at their wits' end because they're so tired. And again, nothing. There's no hotels. I ended up getting an Uber to New York City in the hope that JFK would be a more fruitful place to get a flight from. And I did get that flight. I don't even know what day it is. It's Monday today, isn't it? So I got a flight yesterday evening from JFK to London. It arrived this morning, and I am recording this video just in time, hopefully, for the 8:30 cutoff. And I tell you all this as a lead-in not only to my dishevelled appearance, because I have no idea where my bags are, and neither does American Airlines. So that's not great. So I've not got any of the normal washing stuff. I'm going to have to go out and buy that post video. I also don't have my microphone, my normal microphone, which was in my suitcase. So I am using the webcam today, and that is why the sound may be a little different. So I'm really sorry if this video is a bit strange, and if I sound slightly stressed and looks slightly dishevelled, and probably if my brain is going to be slightly fried. But I just wanted to sort of explain why. I think Mark hinted at it yesterday. But I've never ever had a situation before where I've had 4 flights basically, go wrong on me. It's really, really stressful. I cannot tell you. Anyway, let us move on to matters puzzle related that are hopefully a little bit happier as well. We have got over on Patreon our brand new Sudoku hunt, sort of clone themed, but sort of not. Lots of you have finished it actually and have loved it, and with good reason. So go and check it out. It's by Scojo, Jojo and JoBo. What else can I tell you about? Over on Patreon I've got J Dyer Solve as well. Have I got a picture of that? Is it that one? Yeah. There we go, Repeat Prescription by J Dyer. That's a jolly hard puzzle, but I did manage to solve it. It was requested by a number of our patrons, so that's over on Patreon as well. What else? I've got birthdays to do. I am all over the place with birthdays. I'm so sorry about this, but I am going to catch up on them gradually. So I'm going to do a few today, and then we'll go from there. Yannick, you've turned 23 today. I know this because your wife Raja over in Leipzig wrote to us and said you'd appreciate a shout out. So Yannick, I hope you have a brilliant day today with chocolate cake and absolutely no flights with American Airlines. Garrett, you turned 28 yesterday. Sorry, I could have done that yesterday if I'd got back in time. You've been watching for 4 years and you sometimes go under the, is that Zip? Oh, I'm not going to be able to say that. You go under a pseudonym, I think, online, or in the Sudoku world, maybe Ziblinoff? I can't be saying that correctly, can I? But anyway, Garrett, I hope you had a great day yesterday. Amy and Shem celebrated on the 2nd of August their 22nd wedding anniversary, I presume. And Amy has a message for you, Shem. She says, your love, patience and humour inspire me to be a better partner. You are my best friend forever and always. So a nice message for you there, Shem. I hope you had a great anniversary. Tasia, I know it was your birthday back on August the 2nd because your husband Brandon wrote to us, and I hope you had a good one. William, August the 3rd, it was your birthday over there in Utah. I know this because your dad Monty wrote to us. You turned 18, big birthday that. I hope it went well. And Leah, you also turned 18, but this was even earlier, 31st of July. And I know this because your boyfriend Asaf wrote to us. And then today is the setter Thought Bite's birthday. I should perhaps have done a Thought Bite puzzle, but I think Mark's scheduled to do one. I'm not sure if he's done it today or not. I'm so out of it, Thought Bite. Apologies. But I know we were intending to do something there. And then finally, I want to, not a birthday, not an anniversary, but we had a very kind message from Brandon over on Patreon. I was so sorry to hear about your partner, Brandon, but thank you very much for taking the time to write to us. It means a lot. And with all that said and done, I've got the right glasses. Shall we do some solving? A long introduction, I hope you'll forgive me. I wanted to explain a few things, get a bit off my chest, shall we say. Let's have a look at Zip Zag by Sujoyku and Egubachu. These are the rules. We've got normal Sudoku rules, which means we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. I've got no idea, by the way, how difficult this puzzle's meant to be. Well, we'll have to find out. Zipper lines. Cells on a lavender zipper line at an equal distance to the centre, which is marked with a dot, sum to the digit at the centre. So let's look at this line then. So what that's saying is that those two squares sum to that middle one, the yellow one. These two squares, which are an equal distance from the centre, they also sum to this one. And finally, those two squares also sum to the yellow one. So it's a very intuitive rule, not too difficult. Do have a go at the puzzle. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. I'm going to start off with my secret of zipper lines because it's interesting. I can see immediately it's interesting here. And it's the only secret I think do I know any other? No, I don't know if I do know any others. I think there's probably some mathematical secrets that might exist in some zipper lines. But the most basic secret of a zipper line is because the center is always the sum of two different digits. You can never put a 9 on any cell on a zipper line that is not a dot. Because obviously, if say I put a 9 there, now this is at least a 10, and 10 is not a Sudoku digit. Now, if we look at the grid, we can then think about where 9 goes in this box from a sort of row 5 and column 5 perspective. Because in row 5, where does the 9 go? And the answer is in one of those squares by our secret that we've just unearthed. And then in column 5, we've got the same thing. The 9 must be in one of those 3 squares, but there must be, it's got to be in a cell that meets both criteria, which is only the very center of the grid. So that is our first digit, I think. And, well, no. Okay, so then I was thinking, okay, where does 9 go in box 2? And the answer is in one of 3 positions, because again, it can't go on a zipper, which means it's in one of 3 positions in box 8. I feel very naked today as well, because my microphone normally sits right here, and there's nothing here, which is making me feel strange. Okay, that's underwhelmed, hasn't it? Oh, no, that's silly. Okay, where's 9 in box 9? And the answer is I don't know, but it's basically in one of these 2 cells, isn't it? Which means that square is definitely not a 9. 9 is in one of 2 places in box 7. It's in one of 4 places in box 6. It's also in one of 4 places in box 4. But I don't even think those things are worth notating, to be honest. Right, okay, so I'm going to change tack a bit, I think. Because it occurs to me, for example, if we look at box 9, a sensible question to ask now might be, where does 8 go in that box? And that's because neither of these dots can be a 9 anymore, because the 9 definitely doesn't live in these dots. And that means we can't put an 8 in any of these squares. And that means that there's actually an 8-9 pair in the bottom row. Now, can we do anything clever with that? I think we sort of can. Yeah, okay. In fact, this might be what I was... Well, no, it's not quite going to work, is it? Where's 8 now in row 5? Let's ask the same question we asked about 9s. Now, because this dot can't be a 9, I don't think we can put 8 in any of these squares, and this dot can't be a 9 either. So 8 actually is in one of these 2 positions. Now we might ask where 8 goes. What's going on here? Yeah, this is great. Right, so now we ask, where does 8 go in column 5? Because it can't go on this strand, because this can't be a 9. It's not in these squares by Sudoku. So it's in one of these squares. I don't know which one, but now it's on a zipper. And if it's on a zipper, the centre of that zipper must be a 9. That's very lovely. So now there must be a 1, look, in one of those 3 cells. Let's put that in. This is a 9. 9 can't go on a zipper line. So 9's, no, that's useless. Okay. So, what, if anything, does this mean? I know. Hang on. Oh no, what I was about to say is nonsense. I thought I was on something there. I was about to say, where does 7 go in this box? And I was going to announce, well, it has to be on a zipper, and therefore this square has to be an 8. Well, all of that would be true if this square didn't have the opportunity to be a 7. but I think it does, doesn't it? Unfortunately, or fortunately. So, well, okay, that's perhaps not the question then. Let's think about other questions that we can ask. Is it sevens now? I feel like I want to ask about sevens. But 7, I don't think it's quite as good, is it? Because in row 5, 7 can go in this string of digits. Because this could be an 8. 7 can't go here, that's certainly true. And 7 can certainly go on this string of digits, we just need to put a 2 over there. I suppose 7 can't go in this string of digits, that's certainly true. Well, maybe we can use maths to limit this. Because there is another secret I know about Sudoku that isn't related to zipper line logic. Well, but will become interesting, maybe. And it is a secret I share with my very favourite people. And if you're watching this video, you're definitely one of my favourite people. And the secret is that a whole box of a Sudoku, because it must contain the digits 1 to 9, must sum to 45. That's what the sum of the digits 1 to 9 is. So if this box sums to 45, but these digits sum to 17, let's think about those digits there. Now, each of these dominoes within the yellow framework, so that domino, and that domino, all sum to this. So let's define that as x. So this is 3x, isn't it? So the coloured dominoes there sum to 3x, which is divisible by 3. Now 45 is divisible by 3, so far we've got totally matching modulos, if you like. This is all working well. And that means these 3 digits, the sum of these 3 digits, must also be divisible by 3 in order that the box overall creates a divisible by 3 number. Now this is 17. So this digit could be a 1, a 4, or a 7. And that is very disappointing. Because I was hoping to not have 7 as one of the options, but unfortunately that didn't work, did it? Well, although we still have to be a little careful here. Oh, all right. I've actually thought of 2 different ways of making a subtle point here, but it's rather cute. It is rather cute. Let's look at this digit. This perhaps I should have spotted very quickly, but didn't. I saw this through a different route. I might mention that route, but it may seem completely odious once I've told you this. But the point we could have asked, or I could have said, is where does this green digit go in this box? Because that's quite an interesting question. I know. I know. But the answer is that it can't go in its own row by Sudoku, and it certainly can't go on its own zipper line because the digit opposite it would then have to be a 0. My phone is buzzing. I have to leave my phone on because I'm hoping American Airlines might tell me something about my baggage, but they haven't. So this digit must go down here, mustn't it? And if it goes down here, it's definitely not a 9, so it is an 8. Now the other way I saw that, just to mention it, is that I was thinking about whether this could be a 1. And I realised that would put 7 on this zipper and make this an 8. And I realised that would be impossible then, because I couldn't put 4 in the box, because a 4 on an 8 zipper has to be opposite of 4, and I can't put 2 4s into box 9. But anyway, I found a pretty way of thinking about that. So now, look, now I'm getting chromatic. Look, we can do all this. And well, now I'm going to go back to the other logic, which is where is 4 in this box then? Because it can't go on a zipper, can it? That will not work. It can't go on this zipper anyway. So these dominoes, should we reinstate them? Let's reinstate them. Let's have fun like that. Actually, I think we did it in that order. So each of these dominoes, one of them is 1, 7, one of them is 2, 6, one of them is 3, 5, but we don't know the order yet. Right. But now this is a very clever puzzle, by the way. I really like this, because now I can come back to an earlier question that feels very good now. Where is 7 in row 5? Because it can no longer be on this strand of digits, can it? Because it would force this to be an 8 or a 9, which it cannot be. And it can't be here, because this can't be 8 or 9. So this is a 7, which means that the digit opposite of 4 now is a 3. Now that means that 3 in box 9 is in either green or yellow, and must be with a digit that adds up to 8. So there is a 3-5 pair here, either there or there. And okay, and this domino, let's give these some colours. Maverick, we're about to get a visit from Maverick. It hasn't taken too long, has it? These must be, in some order, a 1-6 pair and a 2-5 pair, which feels like it's doing something. Is it doing something to this? Yes, it is. Okay, what it's doing... yeah, okay, or maybe the better way to think about this is to think about the box 9 dominoes. Can the yellow or the green domino in box 9 be a 2-6 pair? Let's think about that. And the answer, I think, is no, because if it was a 2-6 pair summing to 8, this domino, the domino above it, which is either going to be in column 8 or column 7, then couldn't be 2-5 and it couldn't be 1-6. Oh, that's a message that's a bit worrying, but I can't deal with it now. So this must be 2-6. And these squares are now 3-5 and 1-7. So this is good. This is good, because now we can ask where 1 goes in column 9. Because we know it's not in those squares. We know there's a 1 in one of these 4 squares, so there's no 1 there. So there must be a 1 in one of these squares, and there also must be a 1 on the zipper. So there is a 1 here, which gives us an 8 opposite it on the zipper that adds up to 9. And that means... well, what does that mean? This digit's quite interesting now. Actually, as is that one. Because these digits, well, they can't be 7, 8 or 9, so what's the lowest they could be? Well, the minimum these digits could be is 1, 2 and 3, so this is at least a 4. I bet, no, maybe it could be a 4. I was about to say I bet it can't be a 4, but it then occurred to me that could I do something nefarious like that? And then these would be 1-3 pairs. Probably not, but I'm not sure. But I think that has to be 4, 5 or 6, which presumably means this is the same, isn't it? Because this guy, the minimum these digits could be would be 1, 2 and 3. So one of them is at least a 3. So the line overall must add up to at least a 4. I see. Look, 4 doesn't work because where's 4 in row 5? And it's definitely on this line over here, which means this can't be a 4. So this is at least a 5 now. And opposite the 4 on this strand is going to be a 1 or a 2 to be the complement of 4, which is going to add up to this digit. Oh, 8 by Sudoku is in one of those 3 squares because we've got an 8 here and an 8 in this domino. Okay, here's a good question. Where's 7 in box 2? And the answer is not on a zipper that only sums to 4, 5 or 6. So 7 is in one of those 2 squares, which must be opposite a 2. Oh, no, that doesn't do anything, because we already knew we had this 2-6 pair in box 9. But okay, so 7 is in one of these squares by the same sort of logic. Yeah, okay, and now I'm going to come back to another question. Where is 6 in row 5? Because it can't go on this zipper, which only adds up to a maximum of 6. So 6 is in one of those two squares, which is going to be opposite a 1 to add up to 7. So there's a 6 in this domino, a 1 in this domino, which means there's a 1 in this domino by Sudoku. There is a 1 on this line, which is going to be opposite a 4 or a 5. Now, how do we resolve that? Can we... Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe there's a... Can that really be a 4? Because otherwise I'm going to get a 5-6 pair, which feels like it would be quite a sensible thing to get. And the 4 here, you're then going to have to somehow... Oh, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. Sorry. How about just doing Sudoku? I mean, it's outrageous. Egubachu and Sujoyku, what are you doing? 4 in this box, making me do Sudoku in the Sudoku puzzle. I've now got a 5-6 pair. So that means... what does that mean? Okay, well, it means these squares are very low indeed. They're 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. Which is a surprisingly sort of underpowered deduction, isn't it? I'm unsure what that means. Yeah, no. Yeah, sort of. Maybe I have to colour. Maybe I have to colour this, because what I'm noting is that whatever this is can't go on its own zipper, and it can't go in its own column. So this 5 or 6 here is in one of those two squares, which means it is the complement, look, to the 7 that's going on this zipper line. Now, that means these squares here are from 2, 3, and 4. Which feels like it might be an interesting point. Because this is either, it's definitely a 7 and then either a 5 or a 6, and we need the complement of those digits here that add up to 9. Okay. Just give me a second here. Well, hang on. No, it's simpler than that, isn't it? I think the simple question, such as it is where is 6 in column 5? This is what I think is very clever about this puzzle is I don't feel like I've done anything terribly intelligent, and yet it all feels very elegantly designed. It's a really nice puzzle, because now, yeah, where's 6 in column 5? And it just can't go on this bottom zipper, because if it does, this has to be at least a 7. So 6 is not apparently in any of those squares, so 6 is up here, and 6 is therefore grey. Which means that it means this is 5. It means there's a 6 down here. It means that the digit that's accompanying 6 to add up to 9 is going to be a 3. So this is a 2-3 pair. That feels like it matters. Okay, and now there is definitely a 5 down here by Sudoku, and the 5 is the complement of the 1. And the 4 needs a 2 down here, doesn't it, to add up to 6. So that gets rid of 2 from these squares. And then the other digit is going to be a 3 or a 4 or a 1 actually. Oh. It's going to be whatever's not in those two squares in the column. Okay, but 6 is not in those squares. Did we already... Oh, we already knew that. Oh, sorry. That was me being inept. So how does that affect anything? I suppose what we could do, I mean, it's slight overkill, but Mark would approve of it. I could fill in those digits with 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, you see, that's not such a stupid idea. It really isn't, because now you can see that there's suddenly a little quadruple on 1, 2, 3, and 4 emerged in row 3 that was certainly not apparent, or not apparent to me at least, immediately. So that square's not that square's not a 1 by Sudoku, so that square's not a 4 by Sudoku. There's a 1 and a 4 on here, so this square is a 2 or a 3, and that must be opposite a 2 or a 3 on its zipper to add up to 5. And now there's a 2-3 pair, and this square has to be a 1 by Sudoku, and that's a 4 by Sudoku. The 1 must be opposite a 4 to add up to 5. The 4 must be opposite a 1 to add up to 5. And we are cooking with the proverbial gas here. Yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. And, okay, so these squares are from 2, 3, and 5. Is that good? Maybe not. I've not even looked at this zipper. But I haven't felt like... Yeah, I haven't felt like I needed to. Now, if that's not 1, we know that's not 5 by dint of sort of mathematics across the zipper. That's not 4, so that's not 2. So 2 now. Where's 2 in row 7? Because it's in a domino in box 8, it's in a domino in box 9, so it's in one of these 3 squares. That's useless, isn't it? The other thing we might do is colour these 2s and 3s, although that might be a festival of chromaticness too far. Let's have a look at that. I changed my purple, by the way, when I got home today, because we read an email, I can't remember who it was from, who said that lots of people are purple-blue colour bar blind, and we needed to make either purple or blue darker. So I've tried that here. I hope, well, let me know whether you think that's a sensible thing to do. So this digit is in one of those squares. It's 2, 3, or 5. Oh, it's 2 or 3, obviously. So it's in one of... Well, hang on. Hang on. Haven't we just done it then? I might have made a mistake here, because that went far too well. So what I said was that because these are different, because they add up to 5, then this digit, the purple digit, is in this domino. But it's a 2 or a 3. So where does it go in this? It's in one of the... Well, in fact, it's exactly there, because it can't just by Sudoku. And therefore it's 3. And therefore that's 3 and that's 3. And this is not... So now we get the orange 2s. Right, that must have done things that I haven't appreciated. Yeah, look. So now I've got a 2 here. So this domino is not 2, 5. So it is 6, 1. So this is now a 2, 5 domino. Although apparently I don't know the order of it. Now, this can't be a 1, 7 domino anymore, so this must be the 3, 5 domino. This is the 1, 7 domino. This is 7, 8, or 9. This is 7, 8, or 9. That's just Sudoku on this column. It's left us with a chocolate teapot triple, but never mind. This 4 is quite handy, isn't it? So 1, 2, 4 go into the grid. I feel like we've done relatively well with low digits. And I've got lots of sort of 7, 8, 9s that are unresolved. Although Yeah, that does seem to have yielded. Oh no, hang on. What I've just done there is such utter nonsense. Look at this column. It's not 7, 8 and 9 I need, it's 6, 8 and 9, and that's very different. Although that does give me a 6 in this column, so maybe that's still fine. Oh, it didn't seem to do very much. Let's try. So we know there's a 2 or a 5 on here. Oh no, but it's better. It's better in column 5, look. In column 5 we need 2, 4 and 5 on the bottom zipper. And those are on a zipper that adds up to 6. So these squares have got to be 2, 4 and 1. Which means this square is a 5 by Sudoku, this square is a 2 by Sudoku. I'm still resolutely trying not to look at, I'm not deliberately trying not to look at this, but I just don't think I've needed to yet. These are from 7, 8 and 9. That does seem to be true. There's definitely a 6 over here by Sudoku in row 4. That doesn't look like it's helping. So maybe it's around now we are going to have to look at this. Let's look at these digits. They're 3, 7, 9, aren't they? So these digits here are a 1, 6 pair. Now, how does that help us? Well, it means there's definitely a 6 up here. Why? I've got this 2 pencil mark over here. How did I achieve that? That implies that somehow, oh yes, that is correct. That is correct, because I know there's a 4 here, so I haven't, yeah, this is good. Because I know there's a 4 here, I know there's a 2 in one of these squares, so this has become a naked single 5, which must be opposite a 1. And now this is a 2, 4 pair, so this is a 2, 4 pair. Yeah, that's lovely. And now I get a 5 here, don't I? So 5, 3. Let's tidy up some of the corner pencil marks at least. Can this really be 5 now? 1, 2, 3. No, it can't be 5 because there are 5 different digits on this zipper in box 7. So if we made this 5, one of these would be at least 5 and would have to have a 0 opposite it. So this is a 7, 8 or a 9, which probably shouldn't surprise me at all. Does that mean it's very likely this one is 5? I think probably it does, but I mean probably this is 9, isn't it? But probably is not quite the same as logically. Where's 9 in this box? That's probably been available for a... Oh no, hang on, I'm wrong. For some reason I thought the 9 in column 9 was in one of those 2 squares, but it's not necessarily, it could be here, so we don't know that yet. 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 5, 7 or 8, and that could be anything. Can we actually put 8 on this zipper? Because the 8 would have to be opposite a 1, wouldn't it? But actually that looks possible. Because this would then have to be a 9. Maybe, I hesitate to do it, but maybe we're meant to do it. I'm going to get rid of some of my colouring up here. And I'm going to get rid of my grey colouring as well, because I'm not sure it's serving a purpose. I'm actually going to mark off the dominoes for this zipper, just so that we can see what they look like. Let's try that and see if we can see anything remotely of import. Well, maybe I meant to colour these 2s and 4s. That's almost interesting as an idea, because, for example, this is obviously different from this and different from this. So that one and that one are the same. And this one are the same. So you can see we're getting very close there to forcing one of these. Well, yeah, actually I might do that. I might come back to that in a moment, because that doesn't feel like such a stupid idea. Am I seeing anything that's going to be better than that? I do think this digit's under a bit of pressure. Just looking at this grey digit, and its pure options, it's 5, 7 or 8, adding up to a maximum of 9 here. So what's the maximum value of this digit? It's got to be very small. It's got to be, this square has to be a 1 or a 2, so it is a 2. That's it. Well, I'm not saying it's it, but it's something. But because even if this is the minimum it can be, which is 5, and this is the most it can be, which is 9, this then is a maximum of 4, which is not allowed to be, and it also can't be 3. So this is 1 or 2, and it's not 1. So that actually is 2. And so 2 can't now add to 8, because that would give us 10 here. So this is definitely odd. And that feels like it's important. That's not 2. Has that helped us, or has it not? 4 is now very close to being forced onto the zipper, but it could live in the corner and escape that fate. So these are from 6, 7, 8, and 9. This digit is... I can't quite see it, sorry. If you're all spotting it and you're getting cross with me, I could understand that. Okay, let's try it a different way then. If this is 7 and this is 2, these squares would have to be 1, 6, 3, 4, wouldn't they? So this one, so these two would be a 1, 6 pair, and that would be a 6, and that would be a 1, and it doesn't work. So this is not 7. Let me just show you that in a bit more detail. Because neither purple nor orange can be a 2, 5 pair by Sudoku now, these squares would have to be a 1, 6 pair and a 3, 4 pair. Now, because 3 and 4 are looking at purple already, that means orange is the 3, 4 pair, and this pair has to be 1 and 6. But we know from the work we did earlier that the 6 in box 7 is in one of these two squares, so that would be the 6, and that would need to be a 1, which it cannot be by Sudoku. So in fact, we can work out by hook or by crook, this is 9, so this is 7 now. And now this is 7, and this is... So that's not 7, and maybe this is what we needed to do to sort of break this open. Now this square's an 8, look, so that's a 9, that's 9, that's 8, that's 5. Come on. So this square is a 9 by Sudoku in column 9, so that's 7, that's 8. This square is 6 or 7. And... well, the problem with this being 9 is it puts no pressure at all on these dominoes. They've sort of got maximum flexibility. But we've not put 5 into box 4, so we can do that. So 5 is in one of these two squares. So can this be a 4 is a question we should ask. And the answer is yes, very annoyingly. What about 5, 6, 7, 8? Oh, where's 9 in box 7? It's definitely here, which places a 6, which places a 3, because we need 6 and 3 to add up to 9, which places 6 here and 8 here. which places 6, 6, 7, 7. So 7 is in one of these squares. This square is definitely not 9, is it? Can that be 8? No, because this would be 1, and we've already looked at that. So 8 is here. 7 is here. 7 is here. 5 is here. 4 is here. 1 is in the corner. 4, 2. They have to be opposite the correct numbers to add up to the 6. This is 1. This is 6. This is 1. This is 7. This is 7. This is 9. This is 3. 2 and 6 over here. Now, how are we getting on? Quite well, I think. Although pride cometh before a fall, so we don't get a 3 in the corner, but never mind. That's a 5. And if we haven't made a ricket, we're looking for 2 and 8. Very, very nice puzzle indeed. Really enjoyed that. A lot of people have solved it. I suppose it's been out for nearly a month. Loved it. Zip Zag indeed. Just a series of very nice questions. And not too complicated, but as I say, extremely beautiful. Forgive the microphone, I couldn't do anything about it. Wish me luck with my bags. If anyone out there works for American Airlines, can you find my bags, please? And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.